I'm going to college, so, you know, I don't know how my parents are going to pay for my tuition. I'm trying to get financial aid. I feel bad, and I want to get a job and start working to help out.
It's harder for a teenager to find a job now, because more adults are needing jobs, because it's harder to make money.
There's so much new technology and so many new things that kids want to do. And then if the economy is bad and the parents can afford it, it affects their maybe popularity status.
We don't really get to grasp how bad the economy is because we don't actually have a home and we don't have to worry about supporting our family. So I'm sure my parents and other adults have more to worry about than us.
If your parents are going through a really, really hard time, then yeah, it's gonna hit you. But I mean, if things are regular or your parents aren't making a big fuss over it, kids don't really realize.
Do you worry about the recession leading to bigger problems in your future?
I do, but I don't, because at the same time, I feel like it's gonna get better. But I don't know, it's kind of scary.
And I worry about the recession, but not too much because I know God will provide, so it'll be okay.
Yeah, I do worry about recessions leading into a bigger problem because I don't want to have to go through that when I'm older.
Yeah, I hope recession doesn't go any farther than what it is now. I know that, a lot of people go through rough times, and if it gets any worse, then that'll just be a big problem.
I think about stuff like that all the time. Like right now things are pretty bad. Are they gonna get worse? But I try not to worry about things like that. Just live life, have fun while I can, and go with the flow.
I feel that once I get out of college that I might not be able to find a job as fast, and that might hurt my chances later on in life.
The recession could lead to bigger problems in the future just because you never know what's going to happen in the future. It can just change things up. I'm going to a community college just to save money. I don't know how that's going to affect my future.
What about you guys? Do you worry about your future?
Yeah, I definitely worry about my future because I want to go to college like a lot of teenagers do, and it's really expensive. It's $44,000 for the college I want to go to. So it's my parents don't even make that much money in a year for me to go to a college, so, yes.
Well, I know I'm also, one of the teens on the street said, he's worried about finding a job after college, and that's one of my main concerns. It was something I was worried about, before the recession. So it's really scary now with that extra added pressure and that extra need.
Definitely. I know that search for college, once you get past that stress, then you have to worry about paying for it, and you have to think about what you're going to be doing there. Thinking about post-college is an extremely scary thought, but it's unfortunate that money has to be such a major stress factor in college decisions. I mean, sometimes you have to prevent going from where you want to go because of that kind of thing. But I try my best to put my faith in God and have self-confidence to know that everything will be okay.
I honestly am not worried about the future at all. I have faith that God's going to be with me every step of the way, no matter how hard it gets or even how easy it gets. God's going to be with me every step of the way, and I'm not going to have to worry about anything.
Like Phil, I don't worry about my future. I just take one day, step at a time, and I know God will always be with me, so nothing to worry about.
Before the recession, I wasn't worried about the future. I was just, like a teen said, going with the flow. And if I didn't get into college, then I'd still have a job somewhere. But now that we're in a recession, I'm starting to get worried because I didn't put in the work in school because I'm kind of lazy. So now I'm really starting to get the work done and working harder.
Yeah, I'm definitely worried about what the future holds. After like Vince was saying, after college, you're gonna have to start worrying about looking for a job. And I'm just praying that the economy will be better, and I know that God will be with me.
The money issue, that's my big thing. I can get into college, no problem, but it's having the money to pay for it afterwards is going to be really hard. Plus, the career field I want to go into, they're not really looking to hire a lot of people, anytime soon. So it's definitely going to be really rough, especially for me, when I go through college.
I'm not too worried about the future. I'm just hoping that because the economy does fluctuate like it has been, that hopefully by the time I'm out of college, things are going to be okay. It's going to be easy to find a job.
As Christians, we put our hope in God, who knows all our fears and worries.
In the Gospel of Luke, Jesus said, "Since you cannot do this very little thing, why do you worry about the rest?
Consider how the lilies grow.
They do not labor or spin.
Yet I tell you, not even Solomon in all his splendor was dressed like one of these.
If God clothes the grass of the field which is here today, and tomorrow is thrown into the fire,
how much more will he clothe you, O you of little faith?"
Even in tough economic times, people need to remember to have faith in God who gives comfort.
Next, let's go back to the teens on the street and find out how they think someone's faith can help them through these tough times.
Of course, my faith is a big part of my life. So yeah, I'd definitely say it would help me, but
just trusting in God to know that He'll provide even in tough times like these is like comforting and kind of gives you confidence.
God is the key to the truth, and God is the key to success.
Well, I guess if you always believe in God, He'll always come through for you.
When you talk to God and if you really believe in Him and go to church and everything, then He'll help you.
Prayer gets you pretty much through anything. So if you have that faith, I mean, if you believe that you're going to get through something, you'll get through it.
People can look at God for difficult times because, if they don't have anybody else to talk to, they always have someone in their heart.
Yeah, my dad was telling us, to pray and hope that the economy is going to get better.
A strong relationship with God, it'll help you through all the times, I feel, because you can talk to somebody and He has all the answers.
I guess if you believe in God, you just have to believe then that you're going to be able to pull through, because no matter what, you're still living and everything. It's not that bad, You just have to try to learn to make the best of it.
Next, Tiffany talks about how her faith helped her through this difficult time.
And what advice she has to other young people who find themselves in similar circumstances.
The advice that I have for other young people is to keep your faith and stay strong and pray and try your best to get through the bad times that you're having. My family was never a family that asked people for help, but when we went through this crisis, we had asked people for help and they helped us. So you should ask people for help if you need help and know that everything will be okay. Yeah, my faith did comfort me a lot. It was really hard. We dealt with it by praying. We would pray all the time. My mom brought home prayers from work, and me and my family would say them every night.
I know, I really strongly believe that everything happens for a reason and that God isn't going to give you something that you can't struggle through. That's something I would think about if I was ever in that situation. I would definitely, like Tiffany said, keep my faith in God and remember that He is always there for me.
I know, like Tiffany said about asking for help. When my mom lost her job, my parents sat me down and they're like, you might not be able to have your voice lessons. And I was getting prepared for college auditions at the time, so I was like, I really need my voice lessons. And my grandma's like, you know what, Mary, this is really important for you, so I'm going to pay your voice lessons. So my grandma doesn't even live in the country, and she's still paying my voice lessons, so my grandma really stepped in to help us in that situation.
Yeah, and some advice I would have for people going through tough times like this is really just to hold on, to really keep the faith and really stay strong and know that eventually you're going to get out of it.
A teen on the street talked about God providing for you. He provides for you spiritually. He gives you hope. He makes you believe anything's possible. And I think if you keep that optimism, there's hope for the future.
I definitely agree with what Tiffany was saying, actually, how she was saying that her friends were there to help her. I mean, if you're going through something like that, you really need to look to your friends. They want to help. If you need someone to talk to, just go to your friends. I mean, that's the best advice.
I think that's absolutely true. Like Tiffany and like Mary said, you can't let your pride get in the way of asking for help. Your family is there for you, and your family's friends and your friends are also there to help you. It's an effort of community. We're all in this together. We're all going through the same economic recession in the U.S. and in things like this happen all over the world. So everybody shares this kind of effect. And the thing is, not everybody goes through it, but everybody knows about it. We're all God's children. We're all a family.
Yeah, definitely. Every life contains some hardship.
The church does not teach that these hardships are tests from God, but instead that they are the results of the freedom of all humans.
Since God gave us the freedom to choose our actions, it sometimes happens that bad choices can have major consequences.
But these times are an opportunity for each of us to respond with virtues that are full of God's grace.
Virtues like love, charity, generosity, and hope.
How are you coping in these dark economic times?
We'd love to hear from you. Contact us through our website.
The address is www.RealfaithTV.com.
Or you can call us at 609-406-7402.
And we'll leave you today with this final thought. We must love and support one another during these difficult times.
Because, as we read in Paul's letter to the Corinthians,
love bears all things,
believes all things,
hopes all things,
endures all things,
and love never fails.
So keep that love alive.
Thanks for watching.
We'll see you next time on
Real Faith TV.
God bless.